Franklin, the great American scientist, inventor, and statesman, once wrote, "An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest." I'd like to suggest a slight variation on that. As I see it, an investment in interest always pays off with the best knowledge. Here in our Lifelong Kindergarten group, we've seen over and over the importance and the value of people following their interests and building on their passions. When people are working on projects they really care about, they're willing to work longer and harder and persist in the face of challenges and obstacles. And it's not just that. When people are following their interests, they're more likely to make deep connections with new ideas and to develop new ways of thinking. Let me give you an example. A few years ago, I was visiting one of our computer clubhouse after-school centers, and I met a 13-year-old boy named Leo who loved playing video games. At the clubhouse, he learned how to use our Scratch programming language to create his own games. And he proudly showed me a game he had created, somewhat like this one, where a big fish eats a little fish. But the day I visited, Leo was also a little bit frustrated because he knew that people would be interested in seeing the score of the game, and he couldn't figure out how to show the score. He tried a few things and couldn't figure it out. So I showed a new feature of Scratch to Leo, a feature called variables. And together, Leo and I created a new Scratch variable called score in his game. And by creating that variable, it automatically set up a little box on the screen that showed the value of score and also created some new programming blocks. Leo saw the new block change score by 1, and he knew exactly what to do. He put it in his project where the big fish ate the little fish. Then every time that happened, the score went up by 1. Leo was really excited, and he reached out his hand to me, and he said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I was really happy that Leo was so pleased with his project and with what he had learned. And then I started thinking, I wonder how many algebra teachers are ever thanked by their students for teaching them about variables. Now, of course, that doesn't happen because the way algebra is taught in schools doesn't really connect with kids' interests. But the situation was different with Leo. He really cared about variables because he cared about his game. We see stories like this over and over in the Scratch community. I remember a 9-year-old girl named Sarah who created an animated book report about Charlotte's Web, a book they had read in her 3rd grade class. She wanted to make the animals go forward and back, and to do that, she needed to learn about the math idea of scaling and the art idea of perspective. Now, Sarah had to work long and hard on this, but she was willing to work hard because she really cared about making a better animated story. My mentor, Seymour Papert, used the term hard fun to describe this type of learning. A lot of teachers try to make lessons easy, thinking that kids want things to be easy, but that's not the case. Kids are willing to work hard, eager to work hard, as long as they work on things that they really care about. So how is it that educators can engage kids in hard fun? We sometimes use the metaphor of low floor, high ceiling, and wide walls. It's important to create activities with a low floor, make it easy for kids to get started, and also a high ceiling so they can work on more and more complex and sophisticated projects over time. But a low floor and high ceiling aren't enough. We need to add another dimension, wide walls. It's important to develop technologies and activities that provide children with an opportunity to create a wide range of different types of projects. It's not good enough to have a single pathway from the low floor to the high ceiling. We need multiple pathways, wide walls. We know that different children have different interests. So if we want all children to be able to work on projects they really care about, we need those multiple pathways, many different ways for kids to engage with their projects. As we developed the Scratch language and community, we really took wide walls into account. We didn't make Scratch only for creating games, because although some kids like games, not all kids like games. Scratch can also be used to make art and music and animations and stories and simulations. If you look on the Scratch website, you see an incredible wide diversity of different types of projects. And for us, that's the best indicator of success. When we develop new technologies or workshops, we're always looking to see the range of different projects that result. If all the projects end up looking alike, we feel that something went wrong. the walls weren't wide enough. If we see a great diversity of projects, to us, that's a sign of success. Now, if you teach kids or run workshops for kids or develop materials for kids, I hope you'll think about wide walls. How can you widen the walls to make sure that all kids have a chance to work on projects they really care about? Remember, an investment of interest will always pay off with greater motivation and greater knowledge.